Hello and welcome to Souls Intersect. This reading is for Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising signs, and it is for February of 2017. Okay, so you have a couple of court cards. Knight of Pentacles is in the center and King of Pentacles is above. So a lot of earthy energy coming through. It is possible there's something going on with a father and son, or mother and daughter, or any permutation of that. But seeing so closely the relationship between the king and the knight gives me the sense that there may be an issue here with a parent and one child where something is being called into question having to do with how solid one or the other feels, how stable they feel. And there may have also been something that took place that brought about some disappointment in relation to this. We have these Three of Swords and the Eight of Swords. And I feel that in relation to these two people, that something has taken place on the mental level that's called into question their, again, like stability. It could be in relation to work or money, but not necessarily. It could also be, it could have to do with work or where someone lives, but it feels more figurative to me. I feel like it has to do with something going on in terms of occupation, but more what a person feels that they're meant to be doing with their life. So one of the scenarios here is, for example, a father who is expecting a son to take the reins in his business, to follow in his footsteps even in terms of occupation, definitely something related to career. I feel the law coming through, so something legal. So a hope that a child, or it could be some other type of someone else that you're mentoring, or you could be the person being mentored. But there seems to be some sort of disappointment happening around an expectation that someone was going to either take the reins or follow in your footsteps. Or you've told someone, maybe a parent, that you're not going to follow in their footsteps, and there's disappointment around that. So I feel that whether it's you, whatever position you're in this dynamic, if this is speaking to you, I'm picking up on definitely strong disappointment from one or the other, and also a sense of being blocked in terms of probably what it is that you do want to do, or what this other person wants to do with their life. I think some of the disappointment is coming through because while this person is certain that they don't want to follow a certain path, do a certain occupation, they also are not sure what they want to do. And I think that that's causing some of the struggle happening here, some of the pain between the two people. So I really hear someone saying, it seems like a parent sort of figure saying, how can you be sure that you don't want to do this if you don't know what you want to do, and you have to make a decision? And the Hierophant is coming through as, I feel a little bit of it in relation to that legal field, and I think that's just a clue for some of you to see if this resonates with you. But I also sense that the reason that someone is feeling so hurt by this, so disappointed that a certain person is not going to do a certain career or follow a certain career path, is because it's tradition, quite literally, with the Hierophant. It feels to them like a breaking of tradition, and they're very emotionally attached to it. Because with the Three of Swords, it carries the mental energy of a swords card, but it's also about heartbreak. And this person is just so tied to this idea. It's coming through so powerfully. They're really struggling with letting go of how attached they feel to a certain outcome. If it is a father that is mostly struggling with that idea, or if it's you, I also feel that there's a mother figure that can help ease some of this. The Empress card is coming through pretty powerfully as another person. It has that motherly energy. It's also bringing in that sense of embracing it, but also exploring all of your gifts and even experimenting with them on some level to discover what you can do with them. But because I feel it also tied to a motherly female energy, I feel that there's a person, and it doesn't have to be a mother, it could also just be a mother figure, but it's probably an older woman who can step in or be consulted with about this topic, and who can not only help to maybe help this person or you explore your career path, but also ease some of this pain with this other person and shed some light on it and help to discover maybe what's going on at the core, and to help heal that situation. I want to look at this right-hand column with the Two of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Seven of Pentacles. It's bringing up that sense of having to make a decision with the Two of Swords, and particularly if this is you, Libra, who is the one that needs to make a decision, and it feels very career related, though it's possible it's related to something else, because this whole scenario could also be someone being disappointed about a relationship choice or relationship situation, not marrying who, someone wanted you to, or something like that. But if it is you, Libra, who is the one needing to make this decision, maybe stuck at a crossroads, my concern is that that idea of tradition is delaying this for you somewhat, because it feels mostly like the other person that had expectations that is too attached to that energy of tradition, wanting things to happen the way that they expected because that's how they've always happened, and it means something to them that tradition has repeated. Although it feels mostly like that other person carrying that with them, I feel that it's also in you, or in this person making the decision, and that needs to be removed from the equation, or at least quieted down, reduced somewhat, so that the person can have more freedom to make a decision. The Seven of Pentacles is bringing up a delay, and I feel that it's in relation to that Hierophant, and it has to do with making that decision. So I feel that the answer is something to do with this Six of Wands card. With all of this mental energy and emotional energy happening, and a lot of the pain or struggle or chaos happening because of that, it seems like the answer is actually more in the creative realm. And there's a couple messages coming through with that. One of them is that doing something creative that you love, if there's a tough decision that needs to be made, doing something creative that you love away from others trying to influence you, and away from this sense of tradition that you might be carrying with you, could just help to clear your mind to help make a decision. The other thing with that, especially if it is about an occupation or career choice, it feels like the answer may be in the creative realm, in the sense that you may be called upon soon to do something creative, especially that might be why you feel you don't want to do something more traditional, because if you haven't already, it feels like you will be called upon to do something more creative. And it does feel like it will be a shock to some people, and that there will be some people unhappy with the situation. But I feel really confident with this Empress energy that it almost seems a little bit too like this Empress is kind of battling this Hierophant a little bit. She's very natural and of the earth, and then he's very traditional. And that feels like what the decision might actually be, the conundrum here between those two things. But with the Six of Wands, I feel a burst of creative energy that I think is going to help point you in the right direction coming up soon. Okay, so if you have any questions about this, feel free to email me at soulsintersect@gmail.com, or if you would like to know more about my services. You can also read about them on my site, and the address is below. Thank you, and have a great month of February.